Hi, I'm the great builder. Nobody knew me until my good friend, Mr. Hook, spotted me through a microscope and gave me a name. Living organisms know me better as cell. Does that ring a bell? You will soon know more about me.
The discovery of cells dates back to the 17th century and is associated with the invention of microscopes. Marcello Malpighi, a microscopist, proposed that plants are made of tiny structural units called utricles. In 1665, Robert Hooke, an English scientist, looked at a thin slice of cork through a compound microscope. He observed many tiny, hollow, room-like structures that resembled a honeycomb and called them cells. Hooke actually saw only the outer cell walls because cork cells are not alive. Leeuwenhoek, in 1674, with the improved microscope, discovered free-living cells in pond water for the first time. Robert Brown, in 1831, discovered the nucleus in the cell. Purkinje, in 1839, coined the term protoplasm for the fluid substance of the cell. Biologists Schleiden in 1838 and Schwann in 1839 proposed the cell theory that all plants and animals are composed of cells. Rudolf Virchow in 1855 further expanded the cell theory by saying omnis cellula e cellula, which means all cells arise from pre-existing cells. All living organisms are made of cells. Cell is derived from the Latin word cellula, which means a little room. Plant and animal cells are too small and visible only under a microscope.
I consider the microscope to be one of the greatest inventions of mankind.
So this is a structure of microscope. It was one of the greatest invention to see how the cells are. So let's see what are the structure of a microscope.
Let's see how a compound microscope works. The specimen to be observed is placed on a glass slide. The slide is then placed on the stage under an objective piece.
Specimen means maybe blood, a drop of blood or a plant cell or anything that we have to take it and keep on this glass slide, and we have to keep on this mount. We have to look through this eyepiece. Let's see.
In the middle of the microscope. The light reflected from the mirror passes onto the object. From the eyepiece, a magnified image of the specimen can be seen. The side knobs are turned to get a sharper image. Let's do a microscopic examination of a plant cell.
Now, this is going to be fun.
Here's an onion. We'll begin by cutting it into halves. Peel off the thin inner layer using forceps. Spread the thin peel on the glass slide. Put a drop of water on it. Add a drop of iodine solution to it. Place a cover slip on it. Tap gently with a needle on the cover slip to remove air bubbles. Place the slide on the stage of the microscope. Small chamber-like structures called cells can be observed. Each cell contains a prominent vacuole, nucleus, and cytoplasm.
That onion cell looked like me, didn't it? But who do we have here?
We shall look at an animal cell now. Let's
So we already seen a plant cell which is taken from an onion. Now we are going to see an animal cell. Let's see.
begin with an ice cream spoon. Scrape the inside of your cheek using this spoon. Spread the collected mass in a drop of water on a glass slide. Add a drop of methylene blue. Place a cover slip on it. Now let's observe the cells under the microscope.
Look, these cells have darkly stained spherical nuclei at their center.
The shape of a cell is related to the specific function it performs. Cells like amoeba change their shapes for motility. Cells like nerve cells have a fixed shape that suits their function of transmitting nerve impulses. The development of the microscope led to the discovery of single and multiple-celled organisms. Organisms like amoeba, chlamydomonas, paramecium, and bacteria have single cells, which constitute the whole organism. These organisms are called unicellular organisms. On the other hand, in organisms like fungi, plants, and animals, multiple cells group together to form tissues. These organisms are called multicellular organisms. Do you know how living organisms perform the basic functions of their body? Living organisms perform the basic functions through division of labor between different organs.
Yeah, different cells have different jobs allotted to them, and we all work as a team for the body to function.
All functions within a unicellular organism are carried out by the single cell itself. For example, in amoeba, a single cell is responsible for movement, intake of food, exchange of gases, and excretion. On the other hand, different organs perform different functions in multicellular organisms. For example, the human body has a heart to pump blood, a stomach to digest food, and kidneys to excrete waste.